Here. Don't have a lot of time, and neither do you, so let's make this quick. History writing. We all know what history is, right? Or do we? History is, like some say, a puzzle. But unfortunately, since there isn't a lot of that stuff, what do we call it? Evidence. Where we find out about what actually happened, or so we think. There's a lot of evidence. Not a lot of pieces to that puzzle. In fact, we're often missing 98% of them. So what do? We work in the spaces, we work in the gaps, we fill it in, and we fill it in very carefully. So, first we start with our pieces, our evidence. Select very carefully. Step number 1, select your evidence, right? Select your evidence as carefully as you select your topics, okay? You're going to understand topics that you are familiar with, that you're interested in, so be careful with the evidence selection as well. Be careful with selecting topics that don't have a lot of evidence. I mean, you can go there, but are you ready for it? Are you? So, then you have your evidence, you have to interpret it. That's the other big thing about working in the spaces and in the gaps when it comes to writing history. Interpretation, right? This flag right here. You're probably thinking, look at this guy, he's a patriot. Look at that flag, it's great. Actually, there's a little bit of glare. I grabbed it. Just so happens that I like the way it looks. By the way, I love this flag. But what if I use, I don't know, this flag, right? How would you have interpreted that? I don't know. I don't know what's in your head yet. Give me a minute. But look, just because I have this flag, you might be thinking all kinds of things. Who is this guy? Why does he have the rebel flag, the Confederate flag? Not the real Confederate flag, just one of the battle flags, right? Not exactly the stars and bars, okay? That one's the one that looks like the Texas flag. What about this flag? Wait for it. Wait for it. Let's do it the right way before a bunch of goons show up at my door and want to whack me. Having this flag, what does that say about me? You're probably thinking, why does that guy have that flag? Or you might be thinking, that guy got that flag? No, it was given to me by a friend. A friend who got it at I don't know, probably a gun show knowing this guy. It was an actual flag from the 1980s, Soviet era, right around that glasnost, perestroika, Mikhail Gorbachev era when a lot of things were being allowed to come out of that country. Got it from his dad, apparently. His dad probably got it at a gun show. Who knows? These are things that we don't know about the evidence. I don't even know, and it's mine. So, it kind of brings a few more questions just about how little we know about even our own stuff, or perhaps even our own selves, and the way we think about ourselves and our stuff. So, recap. Puzzle pieces. Evidence. There's different types. I just showed you a variety of sources, right? They're primary sources. It's evidence. We have it. I'm touching it. It's right here in the moment. It exists today. That doesn't mean we know more about it. Okay? Maybe I could go read about flags, any one of these flags in a secondary source, written by a historian who's been studying the craft for many years, who has brought together his or her analysis of multiple primary sources, sometimes thousands, and other secondary sources of trusted work. Maybe I might want to go there, right? We have this great thing called the internet. We're going to use it this year. We're going to use it this year. We used it last year. You're going to use it probably as long as it exists. Or until something else great comes along, right? The other thing is interpretation. When you find the evidence, you don't always know it as well as you think, okay? Have confidence. Try some things out. You can be scientific about it. Stick with a hypothesis. Test it. See if it stands your interpretation. See if it stands the test of multiple theories, of multiple conditions. You look at a document like the Declaration of Independence. Who wrote it? Thomas Jefferson, right? As far as we've been told, Where did he get it? He got some stuff from George Mason, influenced by, Thomas Paine, certainly John Locke and other Enlightenment thinkers. But there's some theories that he got some of that stuff from, Iroquois Nation oral tradition via Benjamin Franklin. There's could be some stuff from, ancient Chinese dynasties in there, from, emperor's proclamations. We really don't know for sure, okay? We accept a few interpretations, but that's what they are. They're interpretations. They're arguments. It doesn't make it any less. It doesn't make Jefferson less of a founding father by any means. It just changes, hopefully, the way we think about what we think we know, what we actually know, what we could possibly know, and how we work in the gaps to fill in the missing puzzle pieces. Stay tuned.